The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast. For beer, the sports talk, and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlinsky as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversations going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get into it. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Today's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420SEAT at SeatGeek.com and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Remember, we're part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all their great articles and everything else they got going over there. Remember to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and all our social media accounts and that stuff. We are joined today by Ryan from the Captain's Corner to talk about the Yankees, their season overall, and then the wild card win over the Boston Red Sox, and then the start of the ALDS yesterday afternoon, which didn't turn out so good for the New York Yankees, but like we talked off air, kind of had that as a loss anyways. Ryan, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. It's Sunday. We got football today. We got Yankee playoff baseball, so you can't be too upset. But yeah, I mean, it could be better after yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, going in, you think about going into that game yesterday and what could have been and what it was, and that's hypotheticals and ifs and buts or candies and nuts. But one more win in April, or one more win in May, or one more win, whatever how long the season is, and the New York Yankees are at home with Max Fried on the mound at Yankee Stadium, game one against Toronto or Boston, whoever it might have been. Instead, they had to go play the wild card round and went 3 games. Then you got to go to Toronto, play, go up against their race. Just take you back to how the season unfolds for you. And it's funny how 162 games, it comes down to one game. And it's funny how that works out pretty much every year.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy going down that end of the season. It's like, I think we mentioned it right before we got on, but you think back to like these random games in like April, like all it took was one game, and then down the stretch, I mean, the Blue Jays were fighting too. They were winning the games they needed to win. We were winning. So it stinks that at some point it's kind of out of your control because we ended the season on like an 8-game win streak or something like that. So, I mean, we did do what we could at that point, but it's tough. I mean, I also wondered, like, I was hoping that after the wild card series, like you get that jitter out, you're not as nervous. You got those postseason games out of the way, but then you bring it up. It's like you got to fly to Toronto. I mean, you're banged up a bit. You just played back to back games, and they were all stressful. So it is tough knowing that we could have had that bye and be on the other end, and like you said, had Fried starting instead of Heel in Toronto. It's tough, but here we are.
You go to that great start in Game 3 for Schlittler, and it was phenomenal. 12 strikeouts, no walks is a big thing for me. Dominant throughout, and how I was pleasantly surprised when Boone sent him out for the 8th. I thought for sure, and I was like, oh no, because it was only 4-0 at that point. I mean, that's the way he was going, but you just never know how the bullpen can react. But he was lights out. Talk about that start and how he just came in. And is it a case of because their guy was pretty good to what's his name? I guess Street or whatever.
Connolly Early.
Connolly Early is the dumbest name in sports. But, it's Connolly Early, and he was good too because he gave up 4 runs, but that was because the Red Sox decided to have a snowball fight and not catch baseballs, and that's what that came down to. So was it a matter of Schlittler and Early just being too dumb to know any better?
It definitely could have been. I know going into that game, I was nervous. I knew Schlittler had the stuff. I mean, he had proven that he's an elite starter. But you see like the highlights of Early's starts for the Red Sox, and I was nervous because his pitch change, like his splits are like 10% this pitch, 10%. Like he can throw anything at any time. So I was nervous it could have went the other way, that Early could have had that kind of start and Schlittler kind of like struggled early on. But I mean, you see all the tweets about like Red Sox fans going after his mom or something like that, and he took that personally. It's just cool to see 2 young pitchers. And like I said, yeah, like you said, kudos to Connolly Early because a couple grounders that just snuck through, a couple errors, and they're both dealing toward the end of the game. So it's cool to see sort of a rise in young pitchers like that in such a crucial elimination game. But Schlittler, I mean, that's one of the greatest starts we we've seen in postseason Yankee history, in my opinion. I mean, elimination game against our rivals, and you go 8 innings, no walks, 12 Ks. It's just unbelievable. And it's funny, I was just visiting my little cousin at the University of Delaware, and we were at a bar, and it's super packed, and we sneak to the back, and there's a big TV, and they got a college football game on. I go up to the bartender, I'm like, you think we can get the Yankee game on, the Blue Jays? And he's wearing a Yankee jersey, so I was assuming I could get in there. And he told me that he was at the game that Schlittler pitched, and he said he said he was there, and after that he said, absolutely, I'll get the game on. I planned on it. But he said the energy in the stadium was just like nothing he's ever seen, and I believe it.
That's awesome. I was listening to after game one, the game one loss, where they didn't hit the baseball, as it comes down to. Well, I don't want to get into that, but I was listening to Locked On Yankees, I think it was, and they said on Tuesday night that the energy wasn't there, and just there was nothing going on. It's funny how a little bit of home cooking, how things can change a little bit, and the Yankee team's a little bit different now. You do have a lot of Instagram stars that are lurking around the place, TikTok stars that maybe don't even know the game's even on, but nonetheless, the Yankees ended up playing yesterday up in Toronto. I had that one labeled as a loss going in. Me and the wife went and watched at a local establishment, and there was obviously packed with Blue Jays fans up here. And I walk in with my Yankee hat and a hoodie on, and people are booing me. I said, that wasn't very nice. It's not very Canadian of you, but whatever. But I said, I have this one down as a loss. And I thought that Boone, that guy, I don't know. I got to get a hold of his scripts, because 2 2/3 heels out. He wasn't great. Gave the 2 home runs, and then they pull him, and it worked out to the chagrin, I guess, of everybody. But now you kind of have a taxed bullpen a little bit, because everybody's went yesterday. I thought it was an odd pull. No, like I said, I had that game as a loss anyway, so I was like, well, just leave him in, and whatever happens, happens.
I completely agree with you on that. I was surprised they took him out. You hate to see the two homers, but I mean, they're solo shots. And otherwise he wasn't like awful. I mean, he wasn't like, the control was there, which sometimes
is that how we're going for now with these guys? As long as you're not awful, that's good.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, at that spot, but
just don't be awful.
No, yeah, 100%. But like you said, at the point of, if you're going to tax your bullpen, you're already down 2-0. I mean, I agree. I thought it was an early pull, and it's tough when you do that. Just like the Red Sox, they just got with this against us. I mean, you pull your guy early, you tax your bullpen, you lose the game. Now you're going into game 3, and you got Connolly early, who's a rookie, and then you got Whitlock, who threw 50 pitches the night before. You got 3 other guys, so it's like, if you're going to burn your bullpen like that, you better be confident that you're going to win the game. And it was only a 2-0 game, turns into a 2-1 game. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it was an early pull, but I mean, like you said, it's tough. You're going game 1 in Toronto. You're hoping to sneak one out, at least one of these 2. It wasn't the first one, but I mean, the end of that game is where you hate that momentum, I think.
At that point, when it got out of hand there, and they might as well have thrown me in to pitch the last couple of innings, it didn't much matter. And I can't remember the guy's name. Paul Blackburn went in there, and whatever. Here, just go and just end the game for us, please.
I think that's why he's on the roster, honestly.
Yeah, here, just please, so we don't use a position guy. I wasn't taking much stock into it. Like everybody was cheering, and all it's 5-1, 7-1, 8-1. I'm like, whatever, who cares?
We lost.
Just have a beer and get out of here. And then it was like, okay, it's done. How much stock do you take in that? Like, it was, because when it was 2-0. Let's actually get into that in the 6th. Actually, let's get me before that. It drove me nuts. Grisham's been awesome all season, fantastic. But holy cow, would you look at a couple pitches, man? Like, he goes in swinging, and then wants the catcher's interference, which I find hard isn't a reviewable call. But Grisham, his first at-bat, swinging. And then his second at-bat, swinging. So he sees a total of 2 pitches and 2 at-bats. And then Jazz, same thing. And there didn't seem to be much of a mental approach and to make Gausman throw a little bit. And I was just like, make him work. Like, he had 1 inning. I think he had 5 pitches. What are we doing? Make him work a little bit, get deep into counts. And that used to be the Yankee way for forever. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, you extend Gausman. And let's just say if they take it's all hypothetical. I don't know anything. But if they take a few more pitches, effective is Gossman's splitter against Judge in the sixth when he had bases loaded? Like, just little things like that can change a game, and it's just like they had a chance to like if, and then I saw you tweeted yesterday during the game that if Judge gets that double in the sixth that he waited to the eighth to get, it's a different ball game. Like, it was
100%.
it wasn't a 10-1 ball game in my opinion. The Jays. The Yankees offense hasn't been great throughout these their first four playoff games, and that's a bit concerning. But what's your thoughts on just the approach that these guys had and how it just didn't make sense to me? Like, just swinging, and then Chisholm, like, love him. I'm still pissed off he didn't get to play in game one against Boston. But he's all or nothing too. Like, he hit something, like he's just swinging from his ass every time he swings the bat. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
No, 100%. And I think just going back to it, yeah, like the swing at the first pitch, it's funny going back to high school baseball. Our coach, if you swung at the first pitch, his rule was literally like it better be a double, or like if you fouled off the first pitch swinging, he would have a coronary. He would freak out. So every time I see these guys do that, that's my first thought. Like, if you're swinging at the first pitch, it better be the pitch. But yeah, it goes both ways. It's like you're trying to make Gossman work, right? And you have your pitcher who just sat down in the bullpen, right? Maybe grabbed his Gatorade. He looks up, there's 2 outs already. Like, you got to think that you're trying to make their pitcher work. You're also trying to get your pitcher a breather. I mean, every single game of the playoffs so far, our pitchers have been working like tirelessly to get out of these innings. I mean, early runners on, you're working out of jams and stuff. So I think 100% that approach needs to change. And actually, I also tweeted yesterday that, like you said, Grisham this regular season, incredible, but maybe it's time to not lead him off. If he's not going to work the count, if he's going to, I don't even want to know what his average is. I think he had the one double.
I think it starts with a 1.
Yeah.
I think there's a 1. I think there's a 1 in there somewhere. Yeah.
I think you're correct on that.
And that 1 isn't 1,000. So let's just get that out of the way. Yeah.
Clarify that. But yeah, I think it's time to move him down, kind of work around some of the guys that are hot right now. And yeah, even Belly, there's a couple of bats where Belly just first pitch swinging and just doesn't do anything with it. And I mean, it's just when the Blue Jays are batting, and let's say they get a little rally and we shut it down, to go out there and give them 3 quick outs and then their bats are right back up. It's like it's almost like they just kept getting to bat. And I think you have to be able to kill that momentum. You need to work that pitcher. Listen, if we were hitting home runs off these first pitches, but we're not, like you just said, the offense, we beat the Red Sox in the wild card, but the offense has been pretty abysmal. I mean, considering what we were ranked first in every statistic, I mean, it's like we've been sleeping. I'm thrilled and surprised that we beat the Red Sox, but I mean, some of these guys need to get going.
Like, Judge is still, and you can't put this on Judge. I mean, he's been, but actually, you know what? I'm kind of getting tired of saying that too. You can't put it on Judge. You can't put it on Judge. Well, maybe eventually you can. Mm-hmm. I mean, he still has to have he hasn't had his shining Yankee moment that's going to put him in the upper echelon. I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame and all that other stuff in Monument Park, but he hasn't had that big moment. I mean, he went 4 for whatever, and he got a couple of hits yesterday, so I think he's still hitting 400 in these playoffs. Yeah. But you just would like to see, like yesterday, a double with when he had bases loaded, or a home run when he had bases loaded. And then one that concerns me a little bit, and he's a little nicked up, and he's always a little nicked up, is Stanton. I can't remember the name of the guy who went in for in the sixth there that struck Stanton out with 101 mile an hour fastball. Mm-hmm. That guy he could throw that 100 times. Stanton ain't in it 100 times. Like, that's 100%. He said here he hit it and he couldn't. Do you think there's something like he's like maybe hurt a little bit more than he's leading on?
Definitely could be. I mean, we know playoff Stanton's a thing. He rises to the occasion. He absolutely has not done that.
Nothing.
I mean, the one ball that he got a hold of, he thought it was out, and that's rare to see Stanton. It's rare to see Stanton look at the dugout like that and get pumped and be about 5 feet short of the wall, but or at the bottom of the wall.
I can't, like, if he didn't make it to second on that, that would have been not good. Like, that would have been quite bad. Like,
when the camera panned to second, my heart started beating because I was like, I better see Stanton there when they pan to second, or I'm gonna freak out on him. Yeah, that's so rare out of Stanton. Like, you'd think at this point he knows when he really gets a hold of it, and it wasn't even like off the top of the wall, and he really thought he crushed it. But I mean, we really need to see him get going. And if there is some sort of underlying injury, we got Ben Rice, who we can DH. We got Goldie, who we could play at first. I mean, I love Stanton in the lineup when he is staying, but if he's not going to be that, then there's no reason we can't work around that with the guys we have. And yeah, just to touch on the Judge at bat, my take on this is brutal at bat, brutal strikeout, right? Huge spot, no outs. You have the best hitter in the league up to strike out like that. It's absolutely brutal. But to see how much hate Judge was getting online yesterday from fans, it actually enraged me. Because baseball is really hard, right? I mean, all of us are going to be standing in that box, and we would never touch a baseball in a million years. And so you want them every at bat, Stanton, right? That bases loaded. I'm looking. I think at this point I was in the car and I had the game on my phone. I'm looking. I'm saying, Judge, this has to be your big postseason moment. He doesn't get it. Then next guy up, Belly. It's got to be your big post. So that's really all we can keep like wishing for, is that these guys have that big moment. But it's tough. Judge is still batting 400. He's not hitting the home runs and doubles that we want, but he's having a great postseason. And so to get upset at him, I get it. I totally understand it. It's warranted, but also don't forget who got us here and who's still performing. I mean, it's brutal, but you got to remember that.
Yeah, I agree, and like it's just like when it was 2-0, obviously, and then they had the base loaded and out, and you have the 3 guys up, and you're thinking, okay,
this is it,
and the only run they get from a walk. Like, and so the writing was kind of on the wall at that point. They just didn't have it. But I really think that if Stanton's nicked up or he's not even at 75%, like you mentioned, put Rice in, put Goldschmidt in, do something, because even though he's been great, he hasn't been. And just because you're great in playoff years of years gone by doesn't mean it's going to continue forever. That's not how it works. Eventually, the sands of the hourglass just kind of wear out. And so I'm not saying that he's done yet, but I think there's a body of work, especially if he doesn't do anything today. Maybe it's like, maybe it's time to mix things up a little bit, because before you know it, it's over. And
Exactly.
It's best of 5 is all of a sudden, and then it's done. And so you can't leave guys on the bench, and that really perturbed me with the Game 1 loss to Boston, where they had 2 of their better hitters not playing. And the lefty matchup, blah blah blah. Well, this guy's one of the best in the league, and you're just gonna. Who cares who's up there? So I just the roster management, and I don't know what it is, like why there's this. Like I find Boone infuriating, but people who just yell at him, they don't get it, because it's a preconceived. There's a script, and I believe that wholeheartedly. But like I do. It doesn't matter who, if it was me or you or whoever, they could have Yogi Berra as the bench coach or Joe Torre as the bench coach with this regime, and this is what it would be. Like there's a script, they're going to follow it, and that's it. Why is there just no feel? Like an eye test to feel like I just don't like, because Boone's been around forever, and you're a yes guy because you want the job, but eventually even like Cashman and the rest of the nerds got to go, well, maybe we're wrong.
I am so with you on that. It's so tough because numbers will never lie, but baseball, since the creation of it, I mean, like it blows my mind that people can say like there's no getting hot in baseball, right? That blows my mind. And I hate to be the person that says something like, if you've never played, like you don't get it, because I disagree with that. I never played football, and I still think that I understand the game, right?
Yeah.
But I think that there absolutely is streaks in baseball. There's times where you're seeing the ball well, where the mechanics match up with kind of what's going on up in your head. The confidence is there. When all these things come together, you're hitting well, right? And then there's times where those things aren't clicking. And so same pitchers, like the fact that we were surprised that Boone let Schlittler go back out versus like when Crochet went back out, when Cora, it's like expected, because he's a guy that's known to kind of have feel, I guess, or manage with feel. And then you see that sometimes it burns you. But the fact that we were all surprised to see Schlittler go back out just kind of shows you how conditioned we are to like this new Yankee way of baseball, where it's all numbers, it's all predetermined. It's this matchup's coming up, this guy comes in, this guy goes out, regardless of what happened. And I will say for Game 1, I was I was excited for Rosario just because seeing he was 6 for 9 off a guy like Crochet in his career. You don't see those numbers against Crochet really anywhere. So I was like, oh, this guy he's got confidence against Crochet. But then in hindsight, obviously it's easier to say now. And I admit that, or I acknowledge that. But you think back to old Yankee teams, like imagine like they just don't put out Hideki Matsui in the lineup because the matchup's not there, or you know what I mean? Or like a guy like, Ben Rice and Jazz, those are two of our best hitters, our starters. So it literally is like, oh, Hideki's not playing the match.
You're just there's a piece of paper from that guy off. Yeah, you're just out today.
Posada, you're not too good against this guy. Jose Molina, you're gonna get the start today. Like, could you imagine that?
I can't.
It's mind blowing, and it feels like it's wrong to say because of how incredible those guys were, but it is similar. I mean, like Jazz is our starting second baseman. We traded for him. He's been electric since he's been a Yankee. He's got the speed. He's got his fielding, and I did love that the next game they showed Boone like, hey, we're going to impact this game immediately. That was pretty awesome. Ben Rice homer and Jazz was making.
Yeah, and it was quick. Like, I was watching. Yeah, if they would have put those assholes in yesterday,
we would have won.
And everything else, and just what the hell? And it's insane how they just don't. It's just there's this magical script that nobody can explain, and that's what kind of bothers me, Ryan, is that nobody is held accountable. Like nobody comes out and says, "This is what we're doing, and this is why." It's just. This is it. That's it. I mean, they don't have to explain anything to me or you, but I think they kind of should. So it kind of takes some weight off of them, so we kind of have an idea what's going on. And one thing that kind of was like, obviously Jazz was pissed that he didn't get to play in game 1, and he said he got a text message the night before. That would drive, if I was a player and a coach or a manager or whoever sent me a text message at midnight, hey, you up? Like, screw you. Like because he's a free agent, right, going into this off season, and he's a bit of a volatile head case. Something like that could be very easy. So you know what? If this is how you're going to treat me, I'm leaving. Like that's a Bush move to send a text. That's how people communicate a lot more now. But I think at this stage in baseball and professionalism, and you're the freaking New York Yankees, and your manager sending you a text message, I think that deserves a phone call or a face to face at the very least. I mean, it's not like they couldn't have done it the day before or the afternoon before. I'm sure there was some kind of a meeting on Monday or something. Bring everybody in and say, here's a lineup. Here's what's going on. To send a text message, I thought that was Bush. And that might push, like if nothing happens, like the Yankees don't win this year, that could push him away. Cause like I said, he's not all there sometimes.
No, 100%. I mean, like you're the starting second baseman for the New York Yankees, and game 1 of the wild card, you're not in the lineup. It's unbelievable. With Ben Rice, it makes a little more sense because his arm is tough behind the plate. Guys were taking advantage of it. They were stealing a lot of bases against him. And then you got a guy like Goldie who defensively is great, still great offensively. So it's just like kind of who to pick there. I know Ben Rice was a hot hitter, but that made a little more sense. But Jazz really, that one didn't click. And he's such an energy guy. Like you said earlier, like he's kind of all or nothing at the plate, but when he is all, it's like he can change a game. And then just to touch on the accountability thing, it is crazy like how after each game, the fans it's a frenzy of blame. And like you said, we don't know who to blame. So it's like, it's kind of like they get to just keep doing what they're doing and let us kind of fight amongst ourselves on like whose fault it is. And they don't really, like you said, they don't have to tell us like whose decision this was, if this was Boone, if this was, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy how we don't know what's going on as fans.
It would quiet the noise, right?
Yeah.
Like it would quiet and it's every game. Why? Well, because
every season.
Thanks. Yep. Or nod. Yep. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good for podcasting. It's a nod. Yeah. Good.
You're right. Don't enjoy that.
Yeah. You have to talk. Yeah. Yeah. Like I was shocked in that. Like, is Jason Dominguez dead?
Yeah, it's crazy that he hasn't impacted a game at all.
Hasn't. Nothing.
Pinch run, nothing.
Like, he could have pinch run for Goldie on Tuesday night. Might have scored on that sac fly and on. Like it would have made it 2-1, 3-2, whatever it was going to be. But just for him to be the next coming, the next great Yankee, and they already had him anointed into Monument Park, and you haven't heard nothing from the guy since July.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's so weird because like he was such a big prospect, and Cashman holds on to these guys. And I'm never big on prospects. Show me something that if you can do it for long term, then okay, I'll believe in you. But
Mhm.
you're telling me you don't go out and get another starting pitcher or whatever for Dominguez or whatever for these prospects, because they're just guys. And I've said that before. Like they're just so like they hold on to these guys, Clint Frazier, and then they do nothing, and then.
Mhm.
So you hold on to him for nothing. It's really strange to me that he's just
It
gone.
it is crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fact that he hasn't pinch run, pinch hit, none of that. I mean, he had a very solid season. He's a switch hitter. His speed is there. I mean, I can't imagine like he stole third so many times this season. To have that impact on the bases, we got Cabby, who we haven't really pinch ran yet either. It's tough like moving guys around. But yeah, like you said, I mean, at this trade deadline, I really thought Grisham was going to go. I thought Grisham was going to be a part of some trade, maybe with like a big name like Spencer Jones or something like that.
Because
Maybe I was
he's going to
hoping
get
he was.
overpaid. He's going to get
Yeah,
overpaid because of the season he had. He had 18 last year and 36 this year. So some idiot owner is going to give him $30 million a year, and he's not worth that.
100%. He's unfortunately showing that right now in the postseason. But yeah, it's just crazy. Before we know it, like Spencer Jones is going to be 32, batting 400 in the Scranton Rail Riders still, and it's going to be like, what did we do? Like, that's one thing that I'll never get with the Yankees is prospects and thinking that they're going to be something, but never actually using them. It's just so mind blowing. Or not trading them. I don't get it. I don't.
Like this window, the Judge window is kind of shutting a little bit. I mean, that's not over yet, but it's starting to creak a little bit. You got to put some WD-40 in the hinges, but it's getting there. Like it's coming, and if they don't get something done, I think that they'll win. I hope they win today. It's going to be a quick one, and it's. Do you like the playoff format? Like, do you like the wild card? Do you like the ALDS being 5? Do you like it? Because like, if you're in the wild card. We might have talked about this last year at this time. Like, you get 2 extra games or 3. Like, but you get 2, and then that was fun. Do you like the playoff format?
I'm all right with it. It's tough. It's tough. Like right now, and like we were talking about at the beginning of the pod, like we were one random win away from taking that 1 seed, and instead you got to play this do or die 3-game series. I guess I like it because it allows more teams to have a chance. It's kind of like the NBA doing their play-in, where it's like you give more teams a chance to sneak in and have this sort of pre-playoff. I'm okay with it, but it's just scary when you're in the wild card. I mean, to be a team that had the same record as the Blue Jays and then they get the bye and like you're a bad start away from potentially having your season over. It's scary. So I am okay with it, but I think that if they were to make changes, I'd be totally okay with it. I think I'm kind of in that route.
It puts a lot of emphasis on April and May when it's April, it doesn't matter, it's early. Well, look what happened. You got to play. You got to play some games that your pitchers, and I don't believe a lot of people like when they say that the teams are playing the wild card, they get momentum going into the DS. I don't know if that's entirely true either. I mean, you look at. I don't know how the Dodgers pulled that one off last night, but it's
crazy.
I can't believe that team, but it's and the Mariners blowing it. But the Mariners are in trouble. I think like that with Tariq Skubal going today, that one could be over pretty quick. And there you go for the Mariners. They haven't done anything in the history of their team, and they could be 3 and done. It's pretty tough. What do you think is going to happen with the Yankees today, moving forward for the next week or so? Anyway, it's like what's your predictions? Because they got to win today. Got it.
Yeah, I think the pitching matchups are favorable moving forward. It's crazy. Yesterday when I saw the Blue Jays put their roster out, and there was no Bo Bichette, there was no Jose Barrios, no Max Scherzer, no Chris Bassett. I was looking at the lineup and the roster. I was like, whoa, like this is not the team that I remember from like a couple weeks ago. So the amount of injuries and just guys that they're not involving is kind of crazy. We've got Fried, Rodon, Schlittler. You can't really ask for much more in terms of now Gossman's he threw. So the pitching matchups are favorable. It's going to come down to if we hit. And I mean, that's kind of the name of the game and how our season has gone. If we have bases loaded, no outs, are we going to do what we always do and strike out twice and then ground out? And it's funny. I saw a clip of the John Boy guys. They were watching the game yesterday live, and they were kind of making fun of Vladdy. He flew out. It was a sac fly, and he celebrated. And they were saying like, oh, it was disingenuous. He wanted the home run, like he's celebrating a sac fly. It's like, well, we had Fernando Cruz blow a gasket over that 390-foot fly ball to center, which I was okay with, because guess what? You worked out of a bases loaded jam.
You're excited. I got no problem with guys getting excited when they do their job.
Me
and
too.
They get out of a moment, because like you said earlier, baseball is hard, and if you can accomplish something like you're celebrating, it's a big sigh of relief, and he wasn't going back out. So I had no problem with Cruz doing that. And if a guy hits a sac fly, I mean, geez, I can't do that. Like if I even make contact with those guys, I'd be wiggling my dick at these guys. Like it would be like I couldn't do it. Right?
100%. So I was all for Cruz, but then it's like we can't double down and say Vladdy bringing a run in the playoffs doesn't warrant a fist bump. I mean, but my point to that is like we have to do that. We have to be able to hit a fly ball with bases loaded, no outs. All Judge had to do was put the ball in play, and he wasn't able to do that. And then Belly works a walk, and then I forget if it was Stanton next who struck out. But it's like,
oh yeah,
it's going to come down to those opportunities, and it was the same in the Red Sox series. We blew a couple. We were able to get lucky a couple times. That dropped fly ball by Jaron Duran was unbelievable. And the Red Sox
called that a hit. I was shocked. Like that's I'm glad it hit him in the hand. If it hits you in the hand, you're supposed to catch it. As a professional baseball player, if it hits you in the hand, you should probably catch it. 100%. And I think he kind of shit his pants a little bit going into that, because he was, oh, geez, what do I do? I don't think he had to dive.
I don't think he did either.
Like, I'm glad he did, because that changed the outcome of that baseball game. But, yeah, that was
crazy. I think it was one of those where you kind of dive just to secure yourself underneath the ball. It's like you don't have to, but you're just kind of playing it safe. But that just completely hit the bottom of his mitt. It just turned his hand over, and that was unbelievable. And so, yeah, we get things like that. And then the Red Sox, they don't capitalize on a ton of opportunities. We work out of a lot of jams. So I think moving forward, it's going to come down to, can the Yankees do that? Just like the Red Sox series, this series, I think our roster is so much better. I think our pitching matchups moving forward are so much better. It's just, can we execute? Can we rise to the occasion? And yeah, it's going to be it. So.
You talked about, if Judge just puts the ball in play, hits a fly ball or whatever, ground, like whatever. If you strike out, nothing happens. If you put the ball in play and then the Duran thing happens, then good. But if you strike out, nothing happens. Exactly. And you just get. I think it has to be between his ears in the playoffs when he can get these hits against Kansas City in June, right? Mm-hmm. But it's got to be something in between the ears a little bit, and just I don't think the moment's too big. Like I don't think that it's just a block, but he's hitting 400. Like it's what it is. And I mean, yesterday I know it turned out the way that was how it was going to be, 10-1, whatever. But that crowd in Toronto they were going, and the whole country up here is all of a sudden Jays fans, which are bad. And I don't mind; it doesn't bother me. It's good, but you kind of just take that one for what it's worth. Put it behind you, and don't look at the score, and don't worry about those guys who pitched yesterday, because most of them won't see a game again. I wouldn't think. This is one that I think Boone has to put the binder up his ass and let Fried go as many as possible. Like and just hope, and then get to your closer, and then that's, I think, if you get down to a 2-pitcher situation, you win the ball game. If you get into 4, 5, and 6 guys, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed today.
100%. I think I'm very confident in Fried today. I think after the Schlittler performance, he's got to look at that and be like, awesome, I got another guy that can do it, but also I'm the ace. And I think today is his day to have his performance and say, look, we're down 1-0 in the series, but I'm going to keep us in this game the whole way. And if the offense does come through, then we're going to win this game. And like you just said, I think he needs to go as long as he can. I don't care if it's 125 pitches. We need to take one of these games and head to New York, split. And with 2 games ahead of us, then we needed to close it out there. I don't want to go back to Toronto for game 5. And yeah, I think, like you said, Boone has to let him go. The bullpen, I honestly, I can't believe you saying Jason Dominguez. I literally like forgot he existed. That's unbelievable that he.
Think about that. When's the last time
I
you even
haven't
seen
heard
him?
his name.
I haven't seen him on TV. Like, I haven't seen him in the dugout.
I haven't heard his name.
Like, is he across the street
weeks.
at Billy's during games, or what's going on?
He
knows he's not getting in. He might as well be may as well make the rounds. Go to Stan's, Billy's, Tavern, dugout. He knows he ain't playing. He can show up the night for celebration when New York have a good time, be half lit. I knew I wasn't getting in. He doesn't even know where his cleats are.
It's unbelievable that I haven't heard his name in that long. And then it's tough, like Luke Weaver. Like, I don't know if he's a guy that should get the ball again, and that's such a tough blow.
Give me a call. I'll come and throw an inning. Like, holy cow, he's bad.
I don't know if he's gotten an out. Has he gotten an out? The Red Sox, brutal.
Then he was kind of, if you read anything yesterday or today, he was blaming the pitching coaches because they're trying to make adjustments because he's been tipping pitches, and he doesn't believe them. He's like, why would they lie?
You better believe him now.
Yeah, you better. There's something not going right there. Oh, geez, he's awful. Awful.
That is tough.
You go back to Fried and Boone, and Boone's post game, like, he just doesn't know when to shut up. I mean, I'm not that's a pot calling the kettle black with me, but like, you look at Boone's post game comments after the Fried start last Tuesday, and they said, "Well, we got to keep him fresh for his next start." And I got thinking, well, his next start, the way this is going, might be in freaking April. Like, you can't. And Jesus. Like, you got to keep going. Like, you got to keep going with your best, and you got to find a way, because it's really, really hard. I don't know if you were going to agree with me on this one, but it's really hard to win the World Series if you're not in it. Like, it's almost like I would say that's impossible. So for Boone to make that statement that we got to save him for his next start, which he got one, but you're like, what if he doesn't get one, man?
Cora did the same thing with Brian Bayo. I think it was during the game after they took him out. One of the reporters asked him, and he said, "Well, he said something like, we want to make sure he's good for his next start." Guess what?
It's in April.
His next start? Yup, it's next year. So how's that? And I mean, he wasn't pitching well, so it's a different story. But to make that comment, you have to be aware of the situation and that he's not going to get that start. And in that same regard, like you just said, you got to get there first. I think it's crazy that people are upset that they're popping a little champagne or drinking beers after each phase of the playoffs. Because guess what? They're like, oh, let's wait till we win the World Series. How do you get to the World Series? Step 1, you make the playoffs, celebrate a little bit. Step 2, win the wild card. You're allowed to celebrate a little bit. I have no issue with that. And I think people are freaking out. Like, I don't know. I think it's silly because there's steps. Game 1 of the season, step 1, win the first game, right? Then it's win enough games to make the playoffs. Then it's win every step of the way. And then once you get to the World Series, guess what? Then you have to deal with that. But to get there, I think you're allowed to celebrate each step of the way. And like with the starts, like you're allowed to burn out starting pitchers, because guess what? They might not get another one, like you just said. You have to get there. You do.
It's not like they're getting hammered and doing shots off a stripper's ass.
Right? They're drinking Budweiser.
It's just they're spraying more booze and having a good time. They might have 3 or 4 beers, and that's it. Exactly. And they have to do it because Budweiser's a sponsor and blah, blah, blah. Like, is it ridiculous that every time but it doesn't hurt nothing. And for these 100%. Keyboard warriors to be losing their marbles about it, like, okay, well, yeah, you're happy. Like, why can't these guys be happy? It's hard. It's hard.
It's 9:30 p.m. and they drank 3 Budweisers. I think that they'll be all right
they'll be okay.
Practice tomorrow. Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But
and they're playing baseball tomorrow at 7. Like, it's fine. It'll be okay. Yeah, it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, but if a team wins a mixed slow pitch tournament, or a game, let's get after it. Like, who cares? Right. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you just hope that they can put something together and get some early at-bats today, because you got that Yasavage kid, and he's just as, going into it just as blind and as dumb as Schlittler is, right? Mm-hmm. And you just don't know what he's going to do. And I think that's dangerous because you haven't seen this guy before. And that's tough because you can have all these metrics and scouting reports and the iPads, and that kind of drives me nuts. I know it's a useful tool, but heaven forbid you just watch the game and watch the pitcher and get some feel for that. All this iPad stuff, I get the instant real. I get it, but maybe I'm getting really old, Ryan. But this could be a tough. They got to get to him early and get some hits early. and score some runs and this is going to sound the master of the obvious kind of shit here, but give Fried a couple of runs to play with because Toronto's going to score a couple runs, and just they got to get to this kid early and see because the Blue Jays ended up using 6 relievers yesterday as well, or 5 relievers, sorry, in a 10-1 ball game. So it kind of shows that it wasn't really a 10-1 ball game until Jake the Plumber went in. So so you just want to get a couple of runs early off this Savage kid, and don't let him think he's better than he is. Like don't give him any confidence, because that 7.38 between the ears, that's huge.
100%. Yeah, that was the same way with Connolly early. I was nervous because he had like the first 2 innings. He looked Connolly early. I forget. I saw someone say something like, "What is it, like 1910 or something?" It was so funny. Yeah, the same thing. I was nervous with him because, like you just said, you give a guy like that confidence, and he's got nothing to lose. I mean, he's got everything to lose, but at the same time, he's a rookie. This is like he really doesn't. He's going to go out there and give his best stuff. He's going to leave it all out there. So I'm 100% with you. You got to get on him early. We have to work the count. If I see Grisham, like you were saying, or Jazz swing at the first pitch and ground out to second one more time. And I don't know about you, like yesterday I was out, like I was at the bar. Usually when I'm watching the game, at least these games, I have to be in my living room alone, right? Because I can,
if it was my brother asking me to go somewhere to watch the game instead of my wife, I would have punched him in the face, but it was my wife, so I kind of had to, right? Because I'd rather, like, honestly, because I get a little bit not obnoxious. I get a little vocal. Like, I don't mind throwing the F-bombs out. It just happens, right? Like when Judge struck out, and we were at Boston Pizza, and it was full. And I'm the only Yankee guy in there. I'm surprised I didn't get shot, but whatever. We don't do that much up here in Canada. So things are a little different here than they are down in the States in that realm of things. But like I probably am going to lean towards. I don't know what she's going to tell me we're doing later on today, but I'd rather just stay at home and watch it myself and swear and watch and different. It's tough because you hear people cheering, but they don't know what they're talking about. And you turn around, you give them a stink eye, and you're like, "Shut up, man!" Like, fuck off.
100%. Like every other sporting event, every other team, I'm good with being out at a bar. I'm good without a restaurant, whatever. But with the Yankees, I mean, like you said, I'm vocal, so I need to be able to get my frustration or excitement out because it goes both ways. And I mean, I need to be able to just sit there and. Like I'll be in the kitchen, right? If the Yankees get a hit, I'm not leaving the kitchen. Or if I'm in the kitchen and the Yankees strike out, I'm moving. So I'm very superstitious. It's like I'm like working myself up. Yeah. And so to be at a bar and like you said, just kind of like having to control yourself a little bit and hear some like Joe Schmo talk about like how Judge isn't a playoff performance. Like I can't do it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna at 4:00. I'm gonna be sitting on my couch just getting ready, like. Nervous as probably Max Fried is, and I wouldn't want to.
Like I'm okay right now. Still good. When we got 4 hours to game time, I guess. And it's just that's what I'm all right now. But as it gets closer, like holy Christ, you start thinking of everything through your head, and you're like, oh geez, what's gonna? And you go start thinking, are we really gonna be okay? And it turned. And you know what? Let's get into that. Wow. All season long, we kind of bantered back and forth, and then we laughed before the season started, just when spring training was, we got the news about Cole, and we were like, this ain't that bad. Yeah, you'd rather have it, but it's going to be okay. And it turns out, Ryan, we were right.
Yep.
Everything's okay. They're right that they're playing in a game now. Like a week ago, they wouldn't have been, or 4 or 5 days ago. But as of right now, they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Like exactly where you would be if they won the division. So it doesn't much matter. So everything's kind of turned out to be okay.
Okay, exactly. No, you're 100% correct. Just thinking about how the season transpired, like what a roller coaster. I'm sure most MLB teams feel like that, but I mean, I guess
like this though.
No, and especially like
Detroit maybe, but because they had that 14-game lead at one point. But
collapse. I
and
guess
now they're 2 games away from advancing, anyways.
I know, it's unbelievable. I guess it starts with the teams in the playoffs, because if you don't make the playoffs, then your roller coaster's over anyway. But there were times where we didn't think that they were going to make the playoffs. There were times where we thought they were going to cruise into the 1 seed. Toward the end, it's like, are they going to win the division? Are they not? Are they going to make the playoffs? It was still that close. So yeah, we are still okay. We're down a game. It's all right. We win today. We're absolutely where we need to be. Now, if we lose today, that's where we might not be okay.
That's where we might not be okay. That's when Brent and Ryan start swearing a little bit louder at the TV. I think is when that might happen there
100%.
for sure. Yeah, but they got just as good of a shot as anybody right now, and they can get a good start today and to see what they can do once they head back to the Bronx. Yeah, what are tickets going for right now in New York? Any idea?
That's a great question. I think I checked. And the pinstripe pass, so it was just standing room. Was
up in yeah.
Yeah, you don't even get a seat. You get to just kind of hang out. I think those were going for 120, and they're usually around like 40 during the regular season. So definitely juiced a bit. But I mean, getting into the stadium for 120 isn't the worst, I guess. I mean,
no,
could be worse.
Like there was like the Edmonton Oilers were in the Stanley Cup Finals a couple years ago, so even last year, and like the tickets went up to like $2,500. You're like, what? Like just
I remember looking,
and that's that was face value, man.
It's crazy.
So if you're only going up to 120 and you don't get a seat, that's not bad. Like that's not bad. You can find a good spot to stand and hang out and have a good time for sure. How was your? Because you sat in a suite one night, didn't you?
Yeah, that was awesome. I had we had a bachelor party for my friend, and we were in like one of those party suites. They had some former players there. They had like Chuck Knobloch.
Knobloch, yeah.
Knobloch, yeah. I never say his last name right. They had who else did they have? Dave Rigetti was there, so I got to meet. It was cool. Got some pictures with them. Got to meet them, and then just the suite's awesome because like it's such a beautiful view. And you pay for the ticket, but guess what? You get to drink as much beer as you can. And that's really what it comes down to for me.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Not having to spend $18 on each tall boy you get. That was pretty cool. But and it was funny because it was against the Red Sox when we lost 12-2 and got completely embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
So the experience and the time was amazing with all of them for the bachelor party. The game itself was horrendous. And we had one friend, a part of that group that was a Red Sox fan wearing his Red Sox stuff. And he was the only one in the entire suite wearing a Red Sox shirt. So, he was chirping friendly. He was like almost antagonizing us with how friendly he was. It almost made it worse. I would have much rather some FUs and like, let's go. Like,
I've always found that a spinning scissor kick cures that. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have tried that. You
got to stretch before, or else you pull a hamstring. Or
those sweet railings aren't too high. Just one quick shove could have done it. But yeah, I think that game was the sacrificial lamb. Though we beat him in the wild card. If we had to watch him get blown out 12-2, we hit him where it hurts when it mattered. So.
I'm glad they did. I was not feeling too confident after game one and just the way Boone's managing, but they got it done, and now they're okay, and they got a shot to still get to the World Series, and you never know what happens. Who comes out of the National League?
Man, that Dodgers Phillies game was crazy. I would love a 2009 rematch, Yankees Phillies.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me. If I was betting on it, you have to the Dodgers. I think they're just the pitchers, what their lineup can do. I mean, you see all the big names, and they got Teoscar Hernandez just crushing the ball. I mean, he's not stopping. So to have a guy like that, and you still have the Mookie, you still have the Ohtani, like I just don't see them not making it back. And that scares me because if we make it and we have to go against that beast after struggling against Alejandro Kirk and Dalton Varsho, it's a little nervous. But
the Brewers don't get much love, hey? Like they crushed the Cubs yesterday.
Amazing season.
Amazing season, but you just don't go. Yeah, the Dodgers are the Dodgers.
It's tough. The Brewers really should get more respect and credit, and I didn't even mention them, but it's just it's like the Dodgers roster. It's hard to even think about the Brewers. I don't know.
I had to laugh. Like you got to respect Jeter a little bit. That he still picks the Yankees to win the World Series in the pregame show yesterday. And what do you expect him to say? Like he can't not say it. Like, he can't say the Dodgers. Like that'd be the first time in his career he ever get crucified on social media. Like the guy walks on water to this day. He hasn't played in 11 years, right? What do you expect the answer to be? Boston.
Could you imagine?
Who's going to win this series? The Red Sox. You got your mind. Yankees don't have a
Twitter would
shot.
have a field
He
day
can't
with
say
that.
anything
Oh my
but.
God. No, he really can't. That would, yeah, he has to say the Yankees. It's Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
It's funny too, just thinking about that. It's a lot of Red Sox fans were chatting after yesterday's game.
Yeah.
I think as expected, right? You get knocked out by the team, you see them lose 10-1, you're gonna chat. But my favorite thing to clap back with is just like, what time do the Red Sox play today?
Yeah.
I keep responding. I think my ESPN app is a little bugged. I don't see the Red Sox. What time are they playing at?
Yeah.
And people hate that. They think it's dumb. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's that simple.
Well, and you should know your spot. Like if you're going to chirp your team's out, probably take a back seat on this one.
100%.
Especially you just lost 3 days ago. You're done. Just take a
give it a break. Yeah, and it was game
back
one.
Seat on this one.
If we come out and win today, like it's the most ammo we have. I mean, we're headed back to New York, tied 1-1, but
and even down 0-2, they've come back and done it before.
Exactly.
2017 they did it. So it's not. I'm not setting it up to lose today, but that 2017 actually I had them wearing today. It was my good luck one. I should have worn it yesterday.
There we go. So we know
stay home, wear the 2017 hat, win a ball game. It's all my fault, really, when it comes down to it. It's actually my wife's fault. It's not. I'll blame her. And she's originally from Toronto, so she's a Toronto fan.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I'll be sleeping downstairs tonight probably. But whatever.
That's so funny.
It just happens. Eh?
But yeah, I mean, we just won 2 elimination games in a row against the Red Sox. So I mean, we clearly can easily tie it back up 2-2. It's just today's so important. It really is, and I'm excited for the game. And that's all. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
That's all we got. Ryan, it's a lot of fun again. Thanks for coming on this Sunday morning before some football starts and everything. And
thank you for having me. Always a blast.
No, it's always fun. Tell you what, because your podcast, you're doing a few more here and there. I see.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it going. I think that this season's still kind of like a testing, just kind of getting the feel for it. But I think next season really going to try to kind of ramp that up and absolutely. And then once we have it at a spot where I'm comfortable having you on and like I feel like we can really. You know what I mean? Because right now it's just me and my buddy, and it's like sometimes there's like
I enjoy it. Like I listened to your post game one the other day, and I think it's going really good. Yeah,
I appreciate that absolutely. But yeah, definitely want to have you on once we have it going like nice and smooth, and then just always a pleasure coming on here because this is awesome. So
I gotta give credit to those guys who do post gamers. Like the Bronx Pinstripe guys and just different guys who do them, because I'm usually half in the bag when the game's over. I can't be going live on TV. Fuck this, blah blah blah. I mean, I could.
It is,
but for that commitment to go after every game, like, oh no,
it's impressive. It really is. After game 3 of the Red Sox series, I know me and my buddy were saying like we wanted to go on right after win or loss.
Yeah. Win
or lose, and if we lost, I don't think I actually could have been able to. I was so game 1 when we lost. I mean, I could have. I was devastated. I could have just lost. I mean, could have went to bed and cried myself to sleep. I was so distraught. But and then after game 2, you win, and it's like you're on top of the world. So the dichotomy of those two feelings is crazy. But yeah,
that's good. So this is a lot of fun again. Thanks for coming on, and we'll probably, if the Yankees advance, we'll get you on again, and we'll keep fighting the good fight, and knowing that things are going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Just keep thinking that it's going to be okay. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. That's Ryan from the Captain's Corner. I'm Brent Radlinsky. Remember, it doesn't matter where you are; it's who you're with. Have yourselves a great Sunday, folks, and we will talk to you later. Thanks for tuning into the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. Brought to you by SeatGeek. Go to bellyupsports.com for the best of sports articles and podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever it is you get your podcast. Let's get in.